we're now getting onto the fourth topic already. So
things are going fast.
We're making progress.
We're making progress.
Yes, but as we know, in agile working and in your role as a product owner, speed is not the only thing.
No.
There's a very important other topic that's paramount for your role as a product owner, and that is value.
Yeah.
One could say a two-word summary of the product owner role is value maximizer.
Yeah.
So I'd like to dive into that a bit, and sure. Obviously it all builds from how you manage stakeholders, how you work with the team. So that's a reason for me to have this order in the conversation. So full disclosure, a colleague of mine is currently working with you at eVillage. That is how we got the chance to get you on the interview. Yep. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Wilbert.
Thank you, Wilbert.
Yes, and hopefully the thank yous keep extending, because you're still actively working, especially on the value part, as you mentioned.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it would be wonderful to share a bit to the viewers and the listeners about your experience until now with the value part, what was lacking, and what you're now experimenting with, working on to try and close the gap, so to say.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, when we started off with Agile and Scrum, we basically started off by ourselves, reading a lot, doing training as well. I am a certified product owner, and my Scrum Master, the Scrum Master, is a certified Scrum Master. But what I noticed is that I had some difficulty managing the stakeholders, specifically internal stakeholders during the stakeholders meeting we have bi-weekly, primarily determining the right level of abstraction, because we have a lot of different disciplines of the colleagues on the table who all have their own pet peeves and all look at my problem, and I had some difficulty to not dive into every single problem, because it's important for you, but everybody else is dozing off. And we approached Pro-awareness to help us review our process and come with some key elements in which we can improve our process. One of the most important points was the way we managed our stakeholders meetings, and traditionally we did not measure a lot of things. We built things, we got reactions from customers, but we haven't had a clear view on what did it cost on the other side and what value did it add to our customers or to the business as a whole. So together with Wilbert, we've got some key tips and best practices on how to get a better view on that. So we're now actively gathering all information from how our product is used. So which elements are used a lot and which elements are used by nearly nobody. Mm-hmm. So that helps us getting the right focus for the stakeholders meeting, on which modules or which functionality focus on, and which to put in maintenance mode or remove altogether. So that's one key element, mm-hmm. in which Pro-awareness has helped us. And the other one, I've lost words. No, I forgot what forgot what I was trying to say.
It's okay.
So one of the things we immediately did is to add instrumentation to our system to measure how many customers are using which functionality, which mm-hmm. is very important. Mm-hmm. And we, together with the Scrum Master, we are now gathering all kinds of information from the system. So how long are people using kind of stuff, what kind of feedback we are getting, what do things cost, because that has not always been clear. And when you have when you're talking about money and cost and benefits and revenue, you have a good view for all stakeholders. Everybody relates to creating the maximum amount of value, yes. And letting that lead into the right backlog and the backlog in the right direction. And I just remembered what the second thing was.
Great.
The drill with, because he really helped us refine our product strategy. So we are by creating a map of all things we do, we could distill a really good sales pitch from that, and a good understanding of what Clang is as a product and what kind of user it's catering to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of map it was? Was it a story map or a value stream map? Which one did you create? If you don't know, we'll ask Wilbert and I'll put it in the notes later.
Put it in the notes. It was
business model canvas? Is that
I think, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's one of the tools. The business model canvas really helps you get clear who's my customer, how is the customer segmented, what is the need we're solving, how can we test it, and this often helps also in pitching and selling your product.
Yeah.
Yes, so
we've got a great sales pitch from that. Yeah.
Wow, great. So then you see you work on your agile process and you get for free a great sales pitch with that. No, but these are really important things because sales pitches obviously also help alignment internally.
Yeah.
To discuss, as you mentioned, with stakeholders and
it
with
reaffirms your position, and everybody already basically knows what we are, but it's nice to see it up in front. So this is what we are, and this is the common goal we are all working towards. Yeah.
Exactly, and even if you already feel, if you're a company of a certain size, and I think 70 people is definitely that certain size already, people get different ideas and interpretations from how they perceive the goals.
Exactly.
So it's good to have one clear thing on the wall or wherever to discuss.
Yeah.
So did you do anything with that goal? Did you communicate it in the company, or for now just use it in the stakeholder meetings?
For now just in the stakeholder meeting, but we've set up a roadmap for ourselves as well to implement all the things that Wilbert has taught us and what we've learned from the process with pro banners. So we're just at the beginning of that process, but we definitely see the benefits of doing things the way we're doing right now. So it definitely helps clear things up and makes us work better together as a company, as a group, towards a common goal.
Cool. So, and as you mentioned, this journey has just started. So
we're not
it's
there yet,
really fresh.
Yeah,
but
getting better every day.
Yes, and as learning is part of your culture, I'm sure this is a great addition to your journey as a company. Yeah. So I'm very pleased to hear that. Are there other ways you steer on value? Because you mentioned mainly for now implementing metrics about usage and using that as a decision aid to support your decision, to support discussions, especially contrasting with the cost of investing in new development there. Probably, we've discussed before on this podcast, but probably Wilbert has also discussed this with you, very important things as sunk cost fallacy, to only look at future investments and leave out past spending, because what's spent is spent. You probably also use this in this discussion.
Yeah, we're still actively working with Wilbert into implementing the steps.
Yes.
To fill in the blanks, so to speak.
And to firmly look ahead what you can spend and forget, we already spent so much, stuff like that.
So this is something that's definitely going to happen, but we're not there yet.
Okay, cool. So that's one way of measuring usage of your product. That's what you would recommend to other product owners to
it's easy. So
and it's an easy one. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
for us it was the most easy one. We would recommend Piwik as a web metrics tool, which is basically Google Analytics but self-hosted, so you don't have to send anything to the cloud. And we got it up and running within a couple of hours, and we started measuring things. So that's pretty great to see. Yeah.
That's the big benefit of having all your development in-house and having a good development team that can do this stuff. Very cool. And we'll put the link to Piwik also in the show notes so people can look at it if it's something for them. Yeah. Is there anything you can share about next steps? Are there more metrics you're willing to add, or what is the next thing you're trying to look at, or is it difficult
well,
at this moment?
we have a number of things put up on a big board behind my desk, so I've not memorized it. So, but there are definitely a dozen of steps we can take to improve the process.
Yeah. So there's a lot to improve, and you're going to keep improving. But at this moment, the concrete first step is not decided on yet.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else about value steering or talking about value with your stakeholders that you can share? Or
no, as I said, we're basically at the beginning of integrating the value maximizer as an idea. So that's good for now, I think. Okay.
Well, thank you also for mentioning the business model canvas. I think this tool, as well as the Piwik, can be very helpful for the listeners and the viewers. Yeah. So that concludes our piece on value steering, and we're already moving into the closing phase of the interview. Yeah, it's always a pity, but time flies, so they say.